Belle Isle and Beyond is an arts and environment project that brought together several Detroit community partners with an interdisciplinary team of University of Michigan faculty and students. The overarching aims for the project were to encourage an embodied, qualitative, imaginative, and reflective response to nature, with a particular focus on water use and quality. The project had two major components. First, we offered a series of 10 arts workshops in dance, visual art, and sound recording for a group of 12 middle school students from the Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences. The expertise of the Belle Isle Nature Center education specialists were central to the workshops. They led nature walks for the students and informed the group about restoration initiatives taking place on the island. Christine McNulty was key in supporting the project.
The Belle Isle Nature Center education specialists worked with University of Michigan to really cultivate experiences, outdoor experiences, to expose middle school dancers to the outdoors that served as an inspiration for their art.
The second component was a site-specific dance and music performance created by an interdisciplinary team of University of Michigan faculty and students in collaboration with Detroit's Big Red Wall Dance Company. And that performance built on several of the ideas explored in the workshops with the middle school students. Sarah Adlerstein, a visual artist and aquatic ecologist and researcher, was key in launching ideas for the workshops.
Now that I don't have too many more years to work, really, that I want to put my effort in educating kids about nature, because they're the future and they will have to take care of their future. I'm not going to be there for them, and if we don't teach them how to do that, there will be no future. We approached the workshop as an experiential activity. We went outdoors and we scratched the dirt and we looked at worms and we experienced the air and the sounds, and then we went indoors and we did collage with elements of printed material from Sea Grant with invasive species, native species from the Great Lakes, and we did collage with that. And while we were doing the collage, I talked to the children about the species, how they connected to the Great Lakes, what was their personal connection, our people's connection to the Great Lakes. And the children need to understand that nature needs to be taken care of because it's fragile and they are part of it, and without that nature they don't also exist. So that is a very important thing for us to understand.
In developing the project, I reached out to University of Michigan dance alumna Erica Stowell.
Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences was really excited to have the opportunity to work with the University of Michigan. The way it benefited my students was that they were able to learn from someone that was not me. So it was a good experience for them to step out of their comfort zone. It was very well received with the students as they saw that it was more playful and fun for them and they can enjoy themselves. They got more relaxed with the whole process.
We explored environmental ideas through dance improvisations, and we choreographed a dance about ecology to a little song about ecology called We're All Connected. The dance was performed by the middle school students on their year-end recital at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History.
What I really wanted them to get out of this is that dance is just many different styles and many different forms, and it's not just what you see on So You Think You Can Dance, where they see this more structured, unified dance that is about the music instead of about different elements in the world like nature. So they did benefit. I'm pretty sure they're going to use what they learned throughout their dance career.
We only had one sound recording workshop with the students, and there was a lot to accomplish. So the first thing that I did was I wanted to introduce the students to the idea of listening to the environment. So what I had them do was close their eyes, be still, be quiet, and we spent a minute, which is actually a long time, just listening attentively to everything that was going on. And that helped when we went outside to do sound recordings to really pay attention to what sounds around them they wanted to capture. The other thing I did was I introduced them to the idea of a microphone as a flashlight. We tend to think of microphones as being like our ears, like things that just sort of passively take in sound around us. But if you think of a microphone as a flashlight, as something that kind of shines a light on a part of the environment, something that illuminates a particular area of the sonic environment, then that can help when we go out recording to introduce them to the idea that we need to focus attentively to specific sounds and to specific elements of the sound environment.
The workshops for the middle school students culminated in a reflective session held at the end of April at Belle Isle Nature Center, in which the students shared some of the outcomes of their sessions together. They saw their framed visual art collages. They listened to examples of a sound score by University of Michigan undergraduate student Tessa Fornari, who had sampled the sounds they had collected in their sound workshop with Professor Michael Gorovich. The performance was inspired by the themes explored in the workshops with the middle school students. Ideas about water use and quality, the connections between built and natural environments, and the ongoing restoration initiatives taking place on Belle Isle. Throughout the performance, the dancers were guardians of water, beginning with the water pouring ritual and ending immersed in the waters of Lake Muscadet, one of the several man-made lakes on Belle Isle. And that's a lake that's undergone several restoration initiatives over the years. We wanted this project to really have an optimistic and affirmative approach about the environment rather than one of doom and gloom, to encourage a sense of hope and agency in young people that they can have a positive effect on restoring a natural balance in the environment.
In terms of the June performance with Big Red Wall Dance Company, it was very rewarding to be able to collaborate with my old faculty members of the school that I loved and attended in my college days. So we were all very amazed at how dance can live outside of the studio, outside of the theater, outside of the four walls. As a native Detroiter, it was very exciting to be a part of this performance and displaying how important natural habitats like Belle Isle is important to the city, especially as an escape route when you live in such a large city where you don't see much of trees and grass and nature on a regular.
For me, it was a really nice experience to leave campus and go to Detroit and connect with the dance community there and have the reference of a professional dance company and also with younger dancers from middle school. I'm a native dancer from Costa Rica, and I've been working there for almost 20 years. Costa Rica is a country with a big commitment with nature protection. So now to come here to this other part of the world and have the inspiration of this beautiful nature center in Belle Isle was a really great experience to me as an artist, and feel how the nature is affecting me as an artist, dancer, and choreographer, and how it can transform the way that I move and all the approach that I can have while I'm creating or experiencing a creation process with other dancers and by myself. For me, it was really surprising as a dancer to be in Belle Isle, moving through the nature, because it made me feel like a really tiny particle, but also being part of this big world.
In composing the piece for the site-specific dance performance, I took all of the sounds that the students recorded during our workshop, and I came back to Belle Isle a few times and recorded sounds of my own in different parts of the island, as well as some sounds in the Detroit River using a hydrophone. And I treated all of these sounds that we had, all these recordings, as materials in the way that a sculptor would. I had an idea of things that I wanted to make, but that idea was shaped by the materials themselves and the potential that they suggested. The piece that I made was probably more kind of cinematic than most music that I would make. It had specific kind of scenes, and then I tried to take the listener between these different sonic scenes. I took the elements of the soundscape of the island, but I made them my own. I made them imaginary things. And that's kind of what we've done with Belle Isle. We people over the years, we've taken a natural space and we've shaped it and molded it to be something that we want it to be.
Belle Isle and Beyond, like all our arts program, gives parents especially the opportunity to have their kids engage in arts programming when they might not take them to conventional art spaces. So they'll take their children to a zoo. They might not feel as comfortable going to an art gallery. So they can come to a nature center and have this wonderful experience of dance and movement that they might not otherwise experience.
It was really exciting to work on this project to establish new partnerships in Detroit and to renew relationships with our alumni working in Detroit. It was a special pleasure to have worked closely with the middle school students in Detroit and witness their engagement. As 12-year-old Malia Jackson reflected, "Overall, I not like but love how we got a chance to play and get to know Mother Nature better. We're all connected."